Everybody got a seat that needs one? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the Class 3A State Champions 2015, the Piedmont Bulldogs.
Thank you, sir.
Coach Smith, any comments you want to make, and then we'll open up for questions. What you have in here are the team captains.
We're very excited about being here in this position. Our guys have worked extremely hard all year long. We want to take a minute to commend Bayside Academy for a great run during the playoffs and making it to the championship game. Coach Lazenby, his staff, and his players, they're a class act, and we were honored to get to play against them today in here in Tuscaloosa. I want to introduce my guys that are in here with me. These are our permanent team captains, quarterback Taylor Hayes, defensive lineman Jamie Crutcher. This is receiver DB Bailey Blanchard, linebacker fullback Deontay Alexander, defensive end Chase Bobbitt, and then running back defensive back Darnell Jackson. These guys have played a pivotal role for us all year long on each side of the ball. These guys have won a lot of games from the time they were little kids growing up in the Pee-wees and then on through middle school and on the high school level. Darnell and Bailey and Taylor, along with Brett Aiken, were all managers on our team in 2009 when we had the first opportunity to come here, and we talked about on the way home that day how cool it would be to get to win one yourself as a player, and I'm excited for them that they got to accomplish that.
Questions for coach or players?
This is for anybody. Can you talk about the atmosphere of being able to play in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
Well, it's just an awesome experience. I mean, as a kid in this state, you grow up an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan, and had this been the year that was in Auburn, it would have been just as cool too. For these kids to get the opportunity to play in these two stadiums, alternating every year. We want to thank the High School Athletic Association and the cities of Tuscaloosa and Auburn for making that happen. It's a wonderful experience. Everything that we've done over the last 48 hours or so here in Tuscaloosa, everybody's treated us so nicely, and it's been an awesome experience.
That's a good question, good answer. Thank you, Coach. Any other questions?
Yeah, Steve, after the first couple of series when it was 7-7, then you pulled away from them, immensely. I don't want to ask you how surprised you were at the dominance that your team had today, but would you just kind of address how strong they were and really how one-sided the game became?
Well, Bayside Academy was very well prepared. They took away early some of the things that had been successful for us over the last few weeks. They did a great job of staying at home on the misdirection plays and took us a little while to find our niche on what we needed to be doing, how we try to attack them. Even at halftime, though, I told the kids it was 23-7. It's a two-score game. We missed an extra point there in the last touchdown, and it stayed a two-score game. They were getting the ball. And we emphasized defense and field position at halftime, said we needed to get a stop, and then offense could go out there and execute and get a touchdown. And then that happened the way that we hoped it would, and then they turned it over a couple times and gave us a short field, and the two-touchdown lead kind of expanded from there. But it was a great start to the second half for us. The guys responded well after halftime. The defense was lights out pretty much all day today, just like they've been throughout the playoffs and the second half of the season. Hats off to these guys that are all part of that defense. Coach Blanchard, our defensive coordinator, and Coach Bonds and Coach Mitchell and Coach Walker and Coach Bramlett, Coach Lawler, Coach Glover, and Coach Stovall, all those guys that help us out. They do a wonderful job getting our guys prepared each week, and our defense has really played well for us. And offense, I thought today stepped it up and made some big plays.
Coach, you talked about that 2009 team. Any comparison in this team and that one, or which one's bigger or anything like that? What are your memories?
I love them both. Just a situation where there was a lot of similarities in the player personnel, kind of the guys that played the same positions, kind of the same type of players. But, that team kind of snuck up on everybody a little bit this year. I think going into the season, we were one of the teams that people had kind of kept an eye on as having a chance. And, you never know what's in the South as far as who's the strongest down there. But we knew in the North that run through Madison Academy. They've been the dominant team in 3A for the last 3 or 4 years, at least from the northern part. And we were able to knock them off in round 3, and that kind of gave us some confidence that it was wide open. A great Colbert County team on the road last week in round 4, and then a very tough Bayside Academy team here today that we were able to beat those 3 in a row. So, we thought we had a chance at the beginning of the year, but at the same time, on paper, it doesn't really help you any on the field. You got to go out and do it, and our kids played their best football when it mattered the most here at the end of the year.
Taylor, this is for you. Just talk about this experience, being the MVP, and what it means to get a win in a state championship game.
I'm not really worried about the MVP. I don't even know if I should have got it. Really, Bailey Blanchard and Darnell Jackson, and probably our defense played better than anybody. So I'm just proud of my guys. I've been playing with them a long time, been with Coach Smith a long time, and I'm just proud of the way we came out and We're physical. They hit us in the mouth to start with, and I know me and Darnell probably weren't proud of the first half we had. Played a little sloppy, but we came out and dominated the second half and broke their will and kind of pulled away.
Other questions for players?
Yeah, Darnell. I know what Taylor just said, but you pulled away from them in the late in the first half, and you got the big lead. I thought, how important was your kickoff return to spark that, and then just speak to how big your 2 touchdowns in less than a minute in the second half were.
I can say it was a big thing for the team because the play before that I got burnt, and I knew the team that needed it. So I don't know. I just broke it.
And then the 2 quick touchdowns. I know you had short fields, but it was like 58 seconds. You scored twice, and that really put you over the top. How huge was that?
Well, it was I knew I had a bad first half, and I knew the team needed me. So the second half, I just stepped up and just gave it all for my team.
Other questions for players?
Coach, this is for you and for Taylor. I know Taylor was one of your great defenders last year, and he switched to quarterback this year. Just talk about how great of a job that he's done developing into a great quarterback for you, and just talk about him getting the most valuable player today.
Taylor's always had the ability to be a game changer at quarterback. It's just in the past we've needed him a little bit more on the defensive side. He's been an all-state linebacker as a freshman and a sophomore first team, and when he and I talked, I told him he wouldn't be playing as much defense this time as he has, and it might cost him a personal accolade there. And his immediate reaction was, Coach, he said, it don't matter to me. I want another ring. He said, I'll do what I got to do for the team. And I think he's turned into the best quarterback in the state of Alabama any class, but I'm partial. But in my opinion, he's very deserving of everything he gets as a 3A back, as a quarterback. And I thought he played well today and helped lead his team.
Taylor, just follow up with that, if you will.
I think he covered it all probably. I don't really know what else to say about that. Just, not just me, but I think any guy would give up position or personal accolades to help get this ring that we just got. So I don't know if I'm any special. I think anybody on the team would have done the same thing.
For any of you guys, Coach mentioned a bunch of you guys who were managers in that 2009 team. For any of you guys that are up there, what do you remember about that, and what's it like now to have that championship fulfilled?
It's a great feeling. We looked up to those guys out there playing in 09. They treated us like we were their little brothers coming in there, and now being able to do that, and it's a great feeling. It's just special.
You were a little brother, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Other questions for players or coach?
To the players who play multiple sports, have been to the final in basketball, semifinals in baseball, just address what it feels to finally get that blue trophy.
It feels great. Madison Academy's been that hump that we had to get over. It's kind of like 09 in football. They had to get over the hump of Leeds, and just to get that ring and get over a hump, going to the semifinals and playing for the state in basketball, it's a great feeling.
One more question, then we're going to let them get back with their team. Okay? Any more questions? If not, Coach, congratulations.